Hey guys, it's Chris from Diemension Games. I'm going to be talking about Twisted Fables tonight, the newest game by Diemension Games. It's going to be coming to Kickstarter later this week, or in a day or so or less by the time I end up posting this video. So if you're interested, let's take a look. We're going to be looking tonight at the Kickstarter preview page that they've put out before the campaign actually, as well as the rulebook. And so we'll take a look at the different pledge levels, the value, and my thoughts on it even before going into the campaign. Let's take a look. So here we go. Here's Twisted Fables. Now, you're going to say, haven't I seen a variation of this? Haven't I seen a spin-off of this? And in some ways you have, and in some ways you haven't. And I think that's why it's really interesting to me, because it's taken several things that we know and it's kind of combined them to show us a new, different product. And I love games that do this. Now, for starters, it very much says at the very front that this is deck building, and this is 2D classic fighting games. And you'll see very quickly why it's being described as it is from that standpoint. Goal, I think they're going to hit that very quickly. And they're very upfront. There's two editions. You have your standard and you have your deluxe. So here you go. This is the preview, as I said. So this is basically taking your fairy tale feminine heroes from a lot of tales, not only in the Western, but also a few from the Eastern, and making them your protagonists who you're going to be playing against as you're going to be fighting either one-on-one or 2 versus 2. And just to put it out there right away, you can see pledge levels. We have a $35 pledge level for the standard edition. They say the MSRP is $45. And then you have your deluxe version, $75. Now, this is probably one of the biggest things that I've seen in terms of Kickstarter discrepancies between the pledge level, that they say you're going to be buying it at, and the discrepancy of which they say the MSRP is. And they say this is 50% off the MSRP. This is going to cost $175 MSRP, $150, excuse me, at MSRP at retail, which you know it's not going to be MSRP, but still that's pretty massive. And they actually talk about it here. They've also said recently, due to I guess the issues that have gone on with Dawn of Madness, which was their most recent miniature-driven dungeon crawl-esque game, is that they are not coming to Kickstarter now without a product that is much closer to retail. And that's reflected a little bit in the fact that they say the estimated delivery is May 2021. I mean, that's really only about 7-8 months away if it's on time. Now, take that with a grain of salt with what you will. But that's for a consumer like me, I love seeing this. I hate these ones that are still in such design that it's a year and a half out. So if that's at all true, I love it. They are also very upfront tonight about the fact that they are doing no stretch goals. They have balanced this out in terms of the base games with the expansions, that there are no stretch goals that are going to affect gameplay elements. So if you're looking for it from that side of things, like I usually do, they are very upfront saying, nope, nope, nope. Big thing here is discount. We're giving you discount. And that's where they're emphasizing it. They're going more on gameplay rather than stretch goals to create issues with production and then delivery. So I give them kudos for that. You've got your core pledge, $35. This is what you're getting. You're getting a whole bunch of stuff. I believe you get 6 characters. You're getting standees. The art is tremendous. The color scheme is tremendous. I give them props. It's popping and it works. And you're getting decks for each of these characters. You have Red Riding Hood, you have Sleeping Beauty, you have Alice, you have Mulan, you have Kaguya, and you have Snow White. So you're getting characters that are recognizable, but a few that also aren't, as that blend of East and West that I mentioned earlier. You're getting relics, which is a whole other mode of the game, and you know you're getting everything that goes along with that. Now, the deluxe pledge, this is where the question is going to be: is either with these standard versus deluxe issues, there's only one question that really comes up: do I get the deluxe version or do I wait for it to come to retail? Right now, with where I stand, I would say if you're going to back this, you get the deluxe version. You don't wait for retail. It will hold its value for $75, even though the shipping cost below is $21 on top of that. You're paying $91 for this. If their price at least holds halfway true, that's going to be a significant discount from the $150 MSRP, which is probably closer to $120, which you may be able to get a free shipping discount at that point or not, but you're still probably going to pay $30 more either way. Now, what are you getting in the extra deluxe edition? You're getting the 2 expansions that each come with 2 additional characters. So if you're a completionist like me, you're getting the full 10 characters. And then you are getting an upgrade pack. So you're getting additional stuff for the 2 versus 2 You're also getting a neoprene game mat, which I think actually is probably the preferred way to play this, having seen the rule book and looked at it. And this is the only way that you're going to get these miniatures. I can't speak to their miniatures. There's other videos that are doing unboxings and things like that from King of Average and Board Game Coffee, and so you can look at those. I can't speak to that. That's not really where my area of interest lies personally. If I could get the deluxe version for $10 cheaper with standees, I'd be happy with that. But this is the only place you're going to get the miniatures, because the miniatures are not an additional add-on, unlike all these other elements that you can get separately. And then you have your plastic tokens, your foil epic skills that are special types of skills that each character has. You're getting a different storage tray, and then you're getting dividers. So it is what it is. They talk about the miniatures here. You can see the miniatures a little bit further. And then they talk about the two expansions, Flood and Flame. You're going to be getting a couple of different characters here. Now, if I can peek that out, Match Girl and Little Mermaid. So you're getting your literal Flood and Flame. And then you are getting everything that goes along with that. Again, if you want the miniatures for those, you're going to have to get the deluxe. These do not come with miniatures. There is no miniature add-on, as you'll see. But you can get everything else that's mentioned up previously in the deluxe edition separately. So if you want everything standee, you can get it all now. Is it going to be less or is it going to be more? I don't know. Chances are it's going to be probably break even, probably slightly more with the shipping. So take that as you will. Neoprene mat, I think, again, having seen what it looks like being played, I think it's good. You've got some preview videos here, the unboxings that I mentioned, and then it goes into the rule books from that side of things. So basically on your turn, you're going to be having up to 6 cards in your hand. You're going to be playing these cards. You're either going to be doing, as they say here, you're going to have your basic, you're going to either be attacking, you're going to be moving, or you're going to be defending. And what are you doing essentially with that? So, to talk about it, you're going to be doing a little bit of everything. And this is a very long rule book, so I'll give you the summary here in a minute. But you're going to be taking your character and you're going to be playing a set of cards from your hand, and you're going to be either doing one of several different actions. The first is you are going to attack. Now, the thing to know about this is attack it isn't like a lot of other games. If you're just going to use the basic attack, it's going to be one space away. If you're going to defend, you're going to defend for just that turn, because at the beginning of each turn, your defense resets to 0. Or if you're going to move, you move all the way in one direction. Now, why is this different? If you see on this track, you can actually, unlike a lot of other games, you can pass the other person and go past them to the other end. So it has a little bit of your BattleCon-esque, but you are more concerned about positioning on either side, not just running into each other in the middle and trying to back up a certain amount of spaces. And so using the cards that you play, you then can buy cards from your own specific deck. And so this is the deck building element. Is the deck building, actually you have these stacks that are predetermined fixed stacks that you are buying the top of. You are putting them in your deck, straight into your discard pile, and then shuffling them from your discard pile to be your draw pile back into your hand like you typically would. So there is some random element of that, and if you're not a fan of that, if you want the random element of that taken out, you're better off with going a game like BattleCon, where there is a little bit less of that, or even one of the other games, Soccer Arms, which is going to be coming out soon. I think that has a little bit less. I'm not as familiar. I'll cover a video of that later. But you are creating your own deck based on what piles you're buying, and you have 6 different piles that you're going to be choosing from. You also have a basic generic deck that you can buy from to get an upgraded just basic actions of attack, defense, and move. So you're creating your own deck differently each time based on your skills, and then you're modifying it. Now, this is where the other elements come into play, is with this game mat, you can also have a 2v2, and so on that side of things, you can have players, instead of just that middle row, I'll see if I can find it right here, in the middle row right here that it's going across, you have your position players on the outside, and on your move turn, instead of just moving left and right, you can swap sides with your teammate in case your abilities line up better against the enemies, so you can do that. The other added element is that relic element that comes with the base game. Basically, each of these spots in the middle where your characters are standing, you put a relic card that is a power-up card that you can choose to use by discarding a card from your hand of a certain strength, and it gives you a certain advantage, and after you use it, a new one replaces it. And so the whole board is lined with those, so you can not only position yourself based off your skills, but also based on what relics are on the ground. It adds another element to it. So that is it in a nutshell. Take a look at the gameplay if you are interested. I think it's a really unique thing. It's not something I've seen before. It's not a combination of deck building and fighting like this. Usually these games come in with a preset, predetermined, this is what you already have. There's no changing it. There's no adding to it. There's no difference. It's just how well you manipulate your deck that you know versus how well the other person manipulates it. Now, if your opponent changes tactics, you can change tactics too based on the skills that you have and based on what they're doing. And again, you can see the art is absolutely gorgeous with this. They've done a great job. Some people aren't going to like it. It's going to be too cartoony. It's going to be too animated. There's going to be a little too revealing on a couple of these characters. But me personally, I'm a big fan. And so you can kind of see the only other element I didn't talk about was the epic cards. Each character has 3 different epic abilities. When you reach a certain health standpoint, then in terms of you get too low, you cross a threshold, you take your 3 cards, you choose one secretly, you put it right in your hand, and then your other 2 are discarded from the game. So each character has that, so you can again adapt according to the tactical situation that you're in. I think it looks absolutely fabulous. I wasn't sure what to expect. They're going to talk about each individual character as the days go on in the campaign. Here's the shipping. Again, if you're in the US like I am, it's going to be $16 or $21. It's not huge. It's not as much as it's more than I was hoping for. But you know, for the deluxe version, it's a 7-pound game, so it's about average. So they're using GameFound. You can late pledge. You can pledge $1. That's the summary. What do I think of it? I'm really impressed. I wasn't sure what to expect of it when I started looking at the rule book and started reading through, and I'm really impressed. And as a fan of this type of game in general, as someone who will probably be backing Sakura Arms, as someone who is eagerly waiting for their arrival of their BattleCon Wanderers set collection, plus has someone who owns Yomi, I'm a big fan of this. I will be backing this. I think it is worth it if you like these games. If you don't like the added element of a little bit of luck with the discard and the drawing, that's going to probably turn you off. If you like that element thrown in with your one-on-one duels, then you're going to love this. I love the combined fresh elements. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to play it. I'm going to be backing it from day one. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Stay classy. I'll see you next time.